Hi guys, it's Geeking Cloud here. So I just very recently uploaded my Towerfall Ascension time trials video. I get all the gems in each of the time trials levels, including all of the unlockable levels. I decided to re-record it all again completely because some of the times have changed and some of the levels have different structures, and some have actually been completely redesigned inside of Ascension. So I decided to just basically record everything again. I had to get the gems myself anyway, so I thought I'd start from the beginning. So this video is going to be something a little bit different, because sometimes when you're watching a video and something's happening a bit too fast, you're not going to really understand exactly what's happening, especially in Towerfall Ascension, because some new techniques have been added, some new what would you say? New moves, I suppose. Like you can do a dash jump now and things like that. There are basically some new ways to move around with your character now, which can make you a lot faster and much more difficult to do. Like they have to be frame perfect and things. So I thought maybe I'd do this video. I'm basically just going to watch my own time trial video, and I'm just going to talk over the top and hopefully explain to you guys something if you don't see it in the video. If you can understand what I'm doing from the video, hopefully this commentary should help, is what I mean. Okay, so we're gonna go through each level individually, but first I'd like to tell you, like I said, there are some new moves inside of Towerfall Ascension, and basically you can dash, but the dash helps you get much further now if you duck. So if you're ducking and you dash, you actually dash further, and if you jump whilst you're whilst you're duck dashing, let's say, you actually jump really far and get really fast. Also, if you do a dash and cancel the dash instantly by pressing the dash button again, but if you do it like almost instantly, you basically get a huge speed boost and can jump across the entire level, especially with a duck dash cancel. It's pretty difficult to do. So what you're doing basically is holding down. I like to press L1 and R1, or L and R on the Xbox controller, instead of pressing the same button twice, because instead of lifting your button up, you basically can just have your buttons over the top and LR or RL really fast after each other. So you're ducking, you press RL and jump almost at the same time. It's that fast, and you can almost get across an entire stage with one jump. Obviously then what it does is it uses your dash, and you have a cooldown for that, so you have to be careful. In the later trials, you're gonna have to do this. In the earlier ones, you don't have to do it, but it will really help speed things up. So here you're just gonna see me basically play them like normal until we get to the later levels where you're basically forced to do that to make the time. But I actually did go back afterwards, and I really cleaned up how long it took for each level. This stage, I think I managed to get it under 2 seconds. This video has it in about 3.5. So all I'm doing differently is I'm doing a jump dash at the beginning. It's so much faster. It actually saves like a second and a half, should I say. Okay, so let's go over this here. You should be able to understand what's happening here. I just jump arrow, and I jump dash at the end. And basically the jump dash just saves a bit of time, and you can hit the guy on the head. So obviously you can jump at people. I shoot an arrow over there, I'm jumping down, double arrow and jump his head. Like I said, these early ones are pretty simple. You may have already completed them on the early version of the game. Not many of these have been changed, so this one was kind of complicated because you have to shoot that guy up at the top first. As you're jumping, I land on the middle pedestal thing, and then I shoot down, and I have to dash up onto the guy's head. So I can rewind here. I mean, you guys can rewind anyway, it's YouTube, but let's just go back and make sure that you guys see what's going on. If you need to see this in slow motion, I believe YouTube allows you to do that now, so let's go here. Right, so I shoot the guy at the top. I need to land on that middle thing, and I jump straight away. As you can see, I'm dashing there. That's why my character looks squashed. I'm dashing across. I shoot up. My dash still needs to cool down, so when I land, I jump up and I jump across. Collect the arrow. If you didn't see that, I should have less arrows, but what I did was never mind. I basically the guy in the highest on the chain, I basically had to jump on the third guy's head on the chain and catch the arrow out of the air, basically pull it out of the dummy, and then I spin and shoot the last guy. And it can be kind of difficult to do that on the first few tries, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. I think the hardest part is shooting the arrow and dashing across to the third third guy you're going to kill's head, like the first guy on the chain there. It's pretty difficult to get once you get down. Once again, this level, I went back and cleaned it up. I shot the guy up the top, and then I did a jump dash, and I shot straight over that kind of column that's floating in the middle there. I shot down, jumped up, and landed straight on the guy's head. And you can save a bunch of seconds. I think I got this one around 2.34 seconds or something like that. So continue here. That's the Sacred Tower complete. We'll go to Twilight Spire. Very simple. You're basically just using those purple orbs. If you hit the purple orbs, they're going to fall. And all I'm doing is I'm using them to my advantage. I shoot that one to the left, I jump on that one to the right, and I shoot the guys up the top. Very, very easy level, actually. Okay. Once again, I'm using the purple orbs for my advantage, but this one is where it gets a little bit more difficult, because this first orb is easy to jump to, but I need to jump to the second orb as well without falling down, right? And it's actually quite a big gap. So what you want to do is hit the first orb just on the right hand side when you land. And then I have to dash up and just make that second orb. I basically hit that second orb just on the left hand side. The gap is bigger than it looks. And then obviously as I'm falling, I shoot 2 arrows to those purple orbs. I land on that guy down in the bottom, and I shoot the final arrow. And you have in Towerfall kind of an arrow. It curves slightly towards your opponent, and it also does it with these mummies as well. So I basically let the arrow do the work there by shooting it, and it just curves around and nails him to the wall. Right, next level. Right, this one's difficult actually, because so I'd use the jump pad to hit the first guy on the head. I stamp him. I land on the second jump pad, and I jump up, and what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to shoot an arrow up there into the corner, hit that purple orb, and kill that guy, right? Now here's the difficult part. I need to use the level wrapping to shoot those 2 guys. Obviously, one I'm going to hit with the purple orb, and one I'm just going to hit directly. But getting your arrow into the top tunnel there is kind of difficult. You actually need to jump really high. And what Towerfall does is when you're jumping on a jump pad, much like many platform games, if you hold the jump button, you do go higher, and it may not be noticeable, but actually if you're using an Xbox controller, if you hold the jump button and then let go to press X on the Xbox controller to fire an arrow, you're not holding onto the jump button anymore, so you cancel the jump, and it doesn't seem to make that much of a difference, but it really, really does. So here what I'm doing is I'll hold down A with the back of my thumb, like the middle of my thumb, and just with the top I'll press the fire arrow button, and what that allows me to do is hold down A whilst I'm firing the arrows. Don't let go of A and then shoot the arrows. Actually hold the jump button down whilst you're firing, and it'll let you just get that little bit extra lift, and you can get both the arrows in there. Obviously you still need the time in between the tunnels, but once you get that down, it's pretty simple. But yeah, very important to hold down the jump button there to get that bit of extra boost. So we're going to backfire here. Okay, so now we're going to start using bombs. So as you can see, I nailed that guy to the left, sorry. I collect the bombs in the chest, and as soon as I jump up and collect them, I fire one to the right hand side, top right. And what that does is it allows all 3 of those guys to be killed by 1 bomb. I need to somehow get to the guy in the bottom right corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow those blocks open, which you can do with a bomb arrow, by hitting the guy in the left with the second bomb arrow, which is the final bomb arrow. And that will open up space for us to shoot the guy in the bottom right without having to jump over there. We can actually just go down, and then we're just going to nail the guy in the bottom, in the middle right, to my right hand side, but kind of in the middle. And then I'll just jump down here and finish off the last guy with another arrow. Pretty simple stuff, that level. Obviously that wasn't my best time, but it's still good enough. So we'll keep going. This one is also pretty weird. It took me a while to figure this one out on the Ouya. So you can see the guys on the right hand side. Well, I like to think of them actually on the left hand side, because to get them I need to fire an arrow to the left, right? So what I do at the beginning there, it might seem weird, but it saves a couple seconds of time and an arrow that I don't need, right? So what I'm doing is, you'll see it straight away. I fire an arrow there. I fire an arrow at the chest, and that opens the chest for me, so I don't have to touch the chest and then jump in the air. I can actually straight up jump and collect the bomb arrows. And also, as soon as I've collected the bomb arrows, I shoot one in the bottom right hand corner, and I shoot the guy in the kind of middle left side. So shooting the guy in the middle left side is obviously going to kill all 3 of those guys using the level wrapping with the explosion of the bomb. But shooting the bomb in the bottom right corner is a confusing idea, right? Because you would expect to jump on those guys' heads and use the bomb to hit the guy in the top, because he's going to be difficult to reach. But actually, he's impossible to reach with the bomb arrow unless you jump up on that small ledge that you can see in the middle right there. So what I do here is I use the bomb's explosion radius to boost myself into the air. So what you're going to see here, I'll do it. So as you can see, I shoot that bomb arrow there, and I'm jumping above the explosion, and what it does is I'm just at the right height so that I'm not going to get killed by the bomb, but I'm still going to experience that knockback. But because I've jumped upwards in the air, it's going to knock me up, so now I get that extra boost, and I can just fire my last arrow at the guy up the top, and bang. It can be difficult to time this level, very, very difficult actually. When you fire that bomb arrow, it's going to explode obviously after a second or two, and you have to be at the perfect height to get that boost. If you're a little bit off, you're going to get shot to the left hand side, you're not going to be high enough in the air, you're not going to be directly above the bomb, or you're going to be too close to the bomb and it's just going to kill you basically. So getting that timing down is pretty difficult, but once you get it down, it's very fulfilling. We'll continue here. Once again, I'm going to use the bomb arrow's momentum to push me, the explosion of the bomb arrow to push me here. So I'm going to shoot that guy like normal, land to touch the chest, which will open the bomb. I'll collect the bomb arrow, and as you can see there, I fired an arrow directly down, so it's going to hit the floor before I do, and then it's just about to explode, right? And I move to the right hand side, so I get it to the right, and I'm going to jump here just as it explodes. As you can see, I just jumped, and what it did is it pushed me over that little ledge there, so it didn't knock me into the ledge, push me over the top, and as soon as I land here I can fire a bomb arrow up. It's going to explode those two guys and the block, and this level is pretty difficult with the timing of this part, because you can actually lose a few seconds here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to fire another arrow now, and I fired it actually before the bomb exploded, but just before the bomb exploded. And what that did is it made it so that the arrow is basically going just as the blocks move out of its way. So I'm not waiting for the explosion to happen and then fire my arrow, I'm doing it just before, so that by the time the arrow reaches there, it's going to just be able to penetrate. And get still a difficult time. I mean, that's still not the best time you can get. I mean, it's, you know, it's pretty close, but that's a difficult level. We'll move on here to the flight. These ones aren't too difficult, especially this one. So what's in that chest is basically just some wings that's going to allow us to fly up. So I collected those, I'm going to shoot that guy, and I actually didn't collect the arrow off that dead guy, which may have actually saved me some time. But anyway, I'm going to shoot that guy there, I'm going to shoot that guy there, and I can pop on his head and dash across and hit the other guy on the head. If I would have caught the arrow out of the air from the guy I killed first, maybe I could have shaved off a second or two there, but never mind. Here is confusing for some people. So as you can see, you start there, but the chest is on the other side. So I've seen a lot of people dash, so they'll duck and dash, which will shoot across, or they'll jump over. What I like to do is I just fire an arrow. So it's going to open the chest. Second I release the arrow, I'm going to jump and collect those wings mid-flight. And then, as you see, I just one tap there and make sure the arrow gets through that small tunnel. I'm going to land on this guy's head. As you can see, you may not have seen it, if you hold down with the wings, you'll accelerate down. I think the same happens without wings, but there's a very specific animation that happens when you do have wings and hold down, and you can see your character kind of cannonball up, and the wings go straight up, and he just drops really fast. So it just saves a second or two to do that, especially on this long tunnel at the end that you see coming up. Obviously fly up there, shoot that guy, pull the arrow out of the wall, so we can use it to fire that last guy who we can't get to through that little tunnel, and there you go. So you can see the wings upwards in the air, and I just dash straight down. I'm not dashing actually, I'm just holding down, and you fall faster. That's all it does. Okay, another pretty simple level. Even though it was close, it's still a very easy level. This one is a bit more difficult, right? So there I didn't fire an arrow because the arrow is just going to hit that ledge. I actually jumped to the chest and then jumped up and got the wings. Those two guys in that middle part are pretty difficult because, as you can see, you're going to have to use an angled arrow. So we go shoot an angled arrow there, shoot to the left hand side instead of just shooting them directly on the right. That's very important because what that does is it allows those guys basically get hit by the arrow and they shoot to the left, right, with the momentum of the arrow, and that allows me to pick the arrows back up, because now you can see I'm out of arrows, right? So that lands there, I pick that one up, I shoot that guy at an angle, I drop, I collect that last arrow, and I just shoot the final one into there. Very important that you use the level wrapping there to hit the guys from behind. Now there is some specific things to do with shooting an arrow. So if you're trying to direct an arrow, it's very important that you let go of the arrow button before you let go of the direction you're wanting to shoot, right? So you hold in X, you choose a direction by holding in the D-pad or the analog stick, whichever direction, then you let go of X and it fires in that direction. Can get pretty difficult when you're trying to tap A as well to fly, because you're trying to basically fire an arrow as fast as possible, and what happens sometimes is you hold down the arrow, you change direction, then you let go of both at the same time almost, and your arrow fires in a completely wrong direction. Very important that you let go of the arrow first. What I like to do is actually let go of the arrow first and let go of the D-pad, and then start again. Instead of holding onto the D-pad, shooting the arrow, and then moving my finger across the D-pad to aim somewhere else, I actually like to let go of the pad completely almost with my thumbs, and then go back to it to aim in another direction when you have to be fast. It just helps me kind of pick a direction instead of kind of using my finger to rub around the controller and aim. Just something that helps me there. Okay, so we'll move on to the laser level. Continue. Okay, as you can see, pretty simple level, a few guys, and we get a few laser arrows here. So we want to kill the guy up top first, because he's kind of out of the way. So what we do is we shoot a laser arrow directly up, and that just basically bounces off the wall there and comes back and hits him. Now the guys in this little cavity up here, we need to hit them both, right? Obviously the guy in the top right, we're going to have to bounce an arrow up off the roof and hit him. Then there's a guy above us, and we only have 3 arrows left and 3 guys, right? So it's pretty standard stuff. We're using a laser arrow at first, we use a second laser arrow, we're using the laser arrows to get to guys we can't get to fast enough, and then with the other guys we're just going to basically bang bang bang, shoot them with an arrow each. Pretty standard stuff. Laser arrow, bang bang bang. I mean, you do have to fire the arrows fast, but it's not so difficult really to they're not exactly in difficult positions, right? Now this level in particular is pretty confusing. So we get the laser arrows there and we fall down this tunnel. As you can see, just at the last second I fired an arrow to the left there. What that's going to do is bounce off that small ledge, it's going to bounce up to the left, off of another ledge, off to the right, it's going to hit that top. I can actually see the path. I'm not sure if you can see the path, but there's basically two things sticking out each time, like 2 blocks, and it's going to basically follow that path until it hits that guy on the right hand side, hanging from a chain, because we can't get to him fast enough. Now we only have 1 laser arrow left and 2 enemies to hit, and neither of them we can hit on the head, so that's where it gets difficult here. So what I'm doing is, instead of shooting to an angle left like I've done there, and then switching around and shooting this guy in his back, I'm actually landing first. So I land and then I shoot the arrow, and what that does is it misses the guy. It's going to bounce off that wall there and come back, and then as the arrow's going, I'm going to dash here. You see the dash, and I actually pull the arrow out of his body as it's coming back, right? So if I just shot him in the back, the arrow is going to land on the floor into the right hand side. I'm not going to be able to get the arrow in time, and then I can't hit this guy. So I'm landing, shooting the arrow. As the arrow comes back, I grab it, I jump up there, and I fire it up to that guy. Pretty simple stuff, but it was kind of confusing to figure out. So hopefully that helps a few people. Okay, this level absolutely really annoying actually. So we collect laser arrows straight away off the jump pad, and we're going to get 2 laser arrows, and I can see we have 1 arrow there, but we also have a chest up the top that we're going to need. So straight away we're going to jump on the bounce pad, fire 2 laser arrows into there to kill those hanging guys, land back on the jump pad, jump up again. We're going to land on this guy's head and fire down. And because we're firing down, we're basically going to start falling, right? And we're not going to be able to make that ledge. So I just use a dash there to stay at high level. I shoot down and dash across so I don't lose momentum. In my jump, it's going to unlock some more laser arrows. As you can see, I'm jumping there, shoot 1, and I actually land, jump, and then shoot another one, because if you try to shoot 2 at the same time, you're going to have to be really fast on that trigger. And you know, even though I can do it, and I actually did it afterwards to go back and save time, it can be pretty difficult because you really have to hit that button fast twice to get him into that little tunnel there. So I actually just land and fire another arrow, and then I'm just going to land and jump on that guy's head at the end there. And we're just going to make it. We have a second to spare. It's not so bad, but that land and second jump is very helpful. Okay, we'll go to the Thornwood here. So this is where the bramble levels are. Okay, so straight away that was fast. To the left side, I shoot a guy in the back, using the level wrapping, so I don't have to deal with him. I'm going to land on this chest, collect 2 bramble arrows. So obviously the bramble arrows we want to either use to kill several people at the same time, or to kill people that we can actually hit with a normal arrow, right? So that guy on the other side of the wood on the left is obviously bramble arrow material. We're going to use a bramble arrow to hit the guy directly in front of us now, and he's going to land and kill another guy. So shoot him, shoot to the left. The bramble's going to go through that wood there, and also the guy we hit is going to land on another guy and kill them both. Use the jump pad to fire a guy up there, fire a guy on the chain as we're falling, and fire him. Pretty easy level actually. Another important thing, let me just go back to this level again. You might not have seen it, so I shoot a guy to the left pretty fast. Right, let's start here. I shoot that guy pretty fast, and what he does is he actually lands on that grass in the middle, and I pull the arrow out of his body as I'm going there. So now I have 3 arrows. So very important that you actually get that arrow. Otherwise you're not going to have enough, and you're going to have to dash on somebody's head and waste a second's time. Pretty standard. Pretty standard stuff. Okay. This one was difficult to figure out as well, so hopefully this helps a few people. But as I said, the fun is in figuring it out, so if you do get stuck on these levels and you just come to this video for help, I mean, use it as a last resort. I don't want to be spoiling the game for anybody, right? But this one was pretty difficult to figure out, at least for me at first. Once you get it, it seems kind of obvious, but until then, you're shooting arrows kind of everywhere. So we get those 2 bramble arrows. Actually, you start this level with 0 arrows, so you need to open the chests. I'm going to shoot that guy in the top left there. What that's going to do is, if you hit him right, which sometimes you actually miss, and let me go back here actually. So what I do, let me do this. Right, I'm going to land and then fire the bramble arrow, as you saw there. I'm not shooting him from the air. Very important, because if you shoot him from the air, the bramble arrow is going to take that guy off the chain. It's going to hit that guy on the right hand side using the level wrapping, and he actually lands on top of the second chest, so you can't collect it. What you want to do is land first and then shoot the arrow, and then it will hit that guy and it will hit the wall instead of the chest, and it's going to land and kill a third guy as well, as you can see there. I'm going to use that small tunnel there to kill them 2, and now that they've avoided the chest because I landed first, I can shoot directly there, and then he's just a final arrow just to finish him off there. We get some pretty good times there. Okay, very, very, very easy level. As you can see, there's some level wrapping that you can use there by kind of shooting at an angle. I don't use that myself. I can just go down here, shoot that guy, finish him, dash into there so that I don't lose time, jump up and collect the next bramble arrows, get that guy in the top corner, which can be difficult. The most difficult part about this level is definitely the timing between shots. So I'm going to aim up, and then I'm going to aim to the right, and sometimes you're basically just going to miss them, right? But after a few tries you get it right. Kill them 2. I'm going to dash across again after the cooltimes run out, and what that allows me to do is land on that guy's head nicely and shoot an arrow into there. He's going to kill him, and I bounce across onto that guy's head as well. Pretty simple stuff again, but just a little bit of thought, guys. Not much thought. That level wrapping does confuse you though, so we're going to get onto the frost fang here with the drills. Some of these levels actually took me a while, not this one, but I think the 3rd one. So only 3 enemies here. The drills that basically go through a wall, right? One wall, and they don't go through those grey blocks. That's what you've got to remember. So here we're going to shoot one straight across, and these arrows actually seem to have a lot of auto aim added to them. So at the beginning of this level, you may not have seen it back here. I actually use another arrow to open the chest there, so that I don't have to touch it, and I can just jump straight across. Shoot the arrow. As you can see, the auto aim pulls the arrow up towards the guy pretty nicely. I jump off the wall, shoot another arrow, jump off the wall, and basically get as high as I can, shoot another arrow, and kill that guy, and that's a normal arrow. Pretty easy level. You can use dashing in that level to be much faster to wall jump mid-dash. Okay, continue here. This one can be a bit more confusing. I can use another dash here to save a bunch of time, but here we're going to do it without it. So once again, I use an arrow to unlock the chest, so I can jump up. I shoot an arrow up at an angle, and basically that's going to go through that wall there and hit the guy on the chain. Shoot one through that wall, just misses those grey blocks, and it's going to kill those two guys. So 2 guys down. We only have 1 arrow, no drill arrows, so we need to collect this chest here. Actually shooting my normal arrow to open that chest could have actually saved a bunch of time as well. I'll have to go back and do that. And then I'm basically just going to use those arrows the best I can, right? I'm going to shoot one straight down between the space and the blocks, and I'm just going to shoot one at that angle, finish that guy up there. Pretty obvious stuff. Okay, this level actually confused me for a little while at first, until I figured it out, and then it just seems so obvious. So what we're going to do here, we're going to just basically hold down so we can get to that chest as fast as possible, and then boom, that happened really fast. We shoot to the right and shoot to the left, right, really fast. Shouldn't take that long, and then we're going to collect the drill arrows, duck and dash, and that allows us to get into this small tunnel and all the way through to the other side, and then we can easily shoot upwards and down, and that once again the auto aim of the arrow is going to pull it into the back of that. Very nice. Okay, we'll continue here with King's Court. So King's Court is one that definitely has been changed, at least one of the levels anyway. Okay, so this level confused me a lot at first on the original Ouya version. So we're gonna basically line ourselves up with the guy hiding under this red block, and well, we jumped there. And what we did is we shot an arrow up into that red block. As you can see, obviously that's not going to do anything for now, and then we're going to fire another arrow into that guy. And what happens on the King's Court levels is obviously these blocks change, right? So as you can see, the dotted outlines are going to fill in, and the things that were blocks are going to become dotted outlines and kind of stop existing, basically. So that guy's corpse is going to get nailed to that tower that's about to disappear, and the arrow that we've shot in the top tower is about to fall because it has nothing to hold it, right? So basically that's just going to fall and land on that guy's head, which kind of confused me at first. When I figured that out, I felt pretty clever. And what I did is also it nailed the guy's body to the wall. As the wall disappeared, I actually jumped into the air and collected the arrow out of his body, shoot the guy in the top, shoot the guy right there through the middle of the fire by basically just standing still. And good time we have him there. Okay, you can use the dash once again. Okay, so this level is once again King's Court actually has some levels have kind of specific arrows, right? So you have the bomb arrows, you have the bramble arrows, and the laser arrows. King's Court actually allows you to use a mixture of arrows, so that's kind of what it's going to do with us here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 chests, and they're both going to have different arrows. We're going to start with 3 normal arrows as well. So once again, use an arrow to save some time there. We're going to collect a bramble arrow and fire it almost instantly at that guy right there. And what he's going to do is going to knock him back, and it's going to become a bramble bush, which is deadly. And once that red block disappears, he's going to fall on that guy in the bottom right hand corner, so we don't have to worry about him now. We're going to land there, collect that chest, but before we collect the laser arrows, we're going to shoot another bramble arrow, as you can see, to the left, kill that guy, but it's not going to hit that the second guy hidden behind the red block there at the beginning. And then, as you saw, what I did is I fired an arrow, basically just jumped, fired an arrow up, and it's just going to hit that guy who's hanging. So now all we have to deal with is the guy behind the red block, right? So we're just going to jump over there, land in that little area where we started, jump and fire an arrow so that the arrow goes through it just as the block becomes like basically nothing, right? And the guy on the bottom right dies last. So that one's pretty difficult because you have to shoot that arrow perfectly, the final arrow, because otherwise you can hit the block or you can fire it too late, and basically it's too late, right? You're not going to get the gem. It's very close, that level. Okay, this is the new one in King's Court. This used to be vastly different. So here you can see we have a bunch of guys to kill, and a few arrows to do it, but not enough to just basically fire upon everybody. So straight away we're going to hit the 2 guys in the top left, basically just fire an arrow, bang bang. What we do there is we jump after the arrows. I'm spinning here and I shoot that guy and dash back to my ledge. That's very important, because basically I do that on purpose because I want that arrow back, right? I want that arrow back. I need it for later. And if I wait until that red block above the starting point disappears, I can fire an arrow directly up, but then the arrow is going to get stuck in the roof and I can't get it back, basically. So I jump out there, shoot him off the chain, and then dash back, and then I'm going to the right hand side, fire an arrow to the top, fire an arrow to the right. Obviously I want to hit the guy on the right before the blue block appears, where you can see the dotted outline, and stops me from hitting him. And now I jump out, shoot directly down. Obviously I don't want to land on his head or anything. It's going to take some time to get back up, so then I dash back under where I was. I have no arrows now, so I'm pretty screwed. Luckily that block's about to disappear. As you can see, I jumped in the air, caught the arrow. I'm going to hit that guy through there, through the nice little tunnel. I'm going to bang bang land on those guys' heads. That one took me a while to figure out. Definitely took me a while to figure out, but very satisfying when you finally get that to work. Okay, Sunken City, absolute horrible levels. I mean, bolt arrows are pretty cool, but still, sometimes basically you shoot them and they will move at a 90-degree angle towards an enemy, right? But sometimes they do it twice, sometimes they do it once. I've seen it happen 3 times, like they kind of dash. It's very, very kind of weird to get the hang of. So straight away here, we're going to wait a second. Obviously timing doesn't start until you do anything, so we're going to turn and shoot an arrow to open the chest. We're going to jump and get the bolt arrow, and then we're going to shoot directly down. And what that's going to do is the bolt arrow is going to fire down. When it sees that the target is to the left, it's just going to turn at a 90-degree angle and go straight for it. We picked the arrow back up. That's very important. So I shot the chest, but we needed the arrow back after the arrow landed on the floor, right? So now the bolt arrow's dashed towards that guy, and I've got 3 arrows, enough to finish these guys off. I used the bolt arrow on him. Not the best use of the bolt arrow. You can actually use what can you use? I think it's the D-pad, or you can use Y on the Xbox controller to actually switch the order of the arrows. And what I should have done there is actually switch to a normal arrow. But luckily enough, the auto aiming of an arrow actually saved me here, and as you can see, it curled up there and hit that guy who was hanging from the chain. Normally you would expect to have to use a bolt arrow, and obviously the last guy we just kind of level wrapped and shot him. I did expect to have to use a bolt arrow on the hanging guy, but the curvature of the arrow saved me. I didn't have to change the order of my arrows. Okay, this level really confused me at first. You do have 5 seconds, which is longer than most levels, but that guy over there, as you can see, the hanging guy, he's in a bit of a maze, and it's difficult to get to him without spending a lot of time. And then we have 2 other guys there, obviously kind of hidden away, so we don't want to go hit them individually. It's going to take a lot of time. Once again, I shoot the chest, jump for the bolt arrow, and what I do is I shoot that bolt arrow at an angle, and then it's just going to dash towards that guy. I collect the arrow that I used to open the chest. I jump up there. As you can see, I jumped against that wall, but I also fired my bolt arrow down, so that's what I'm going to do is basically just going to kill that guy who's hiding underneath the starting point by dashing towards him. As you can see, I dashed, got off the wall there, didn't dash, jumped off the wall again there, used the wall jump, and now I'm in the kind of top left, let's say, and I need to get to that other guy. Here is the first time that I thought that you have to use a duck dash cancel to get there fast enough, right? If I just run and jump onto that middle block and then dash into the open area there, into the kind of like short maze area, it's too slow. I need to use a duck dash cancel. So boom, you can see how fast you move. You save a lot of time. I did hit the wall there, which wasn't fantastic. Obviously it could have been done better if I'd have aimed a little better, like dashed a little before maybe. So I'm gonna slide against the wall, dash inside there, fall and dash again and shoot up, basically. Not the fastest. I could have done the level actually pretty slow. As I said, I hit that wall at the top there and kind of slid down, which does take a lot of time, but definitely needs a duck dash cancel. Very difficult to do at first, and once you get the hang of it, it's much easier, and it can save you in a lot of situations, and also obviously help you with a lot of these time trials. Final one. This one actually did confuse me as well, even though it's pretty obvious. So straight away I'm jumping to that first chest, and what I'm doing is I'm basically shooting an arrow and shooting an arrow, but the timing between them is actually more difficult than it would seem. So I shoot an arrow, obviously it's curling towards that guy, and then I need to shoot a second arrow, but the second arrow needs to be shot from about where I am now, otherwise it will curl towards the first guy. So there we go, hit them two, jump and collect the bolt arrows. What I need to do is kill the guy in the bottom now, so I jump and fire a bolt arrow, jump up and shoot an arrow to that guy. What I did there is I landed, and I should have probably dashed to that chest actually. Instead I landed and did another jump, right? So those two guys are now dead. You can see the bolt arrows going for them, but now I do another jump, land, and have to jump again to collect the arrows. It's not super efficient, but it works. And then I'm going to land and jump again, right? Landing and jumping is not efficient at all. Dashing can be efficient, but sometimes it can also kill you, right? Sometimes it can actually waste more time than it's good, but that situation I probably should have dashed to the chest and just jumped once or twice. I'm going to fire an arrow up there, and I'm going to fire an arrow through that tunnel, and they're basically just going to change direction on their own and kill those guys. Standard stuff, but pretty difficult execution on that one, I'd say. Okay, so 3 more sets of stages left, 9 more levels, individual ones. This one's Moonstone, and what the special with Moonstone is not a special type of arrow, but actually, as you can see, these kind of weird purple blocks here, they kind of look like glass. Arrows can go through them, but people can't, right? So you need to shoot through them. So actually, let me start this level again so I can show you guys. I actually begin this level with a duck dash cancel straight away, but a pretty small one. I cancel really fast, so it's just small. Let's start here. It's going to be fast. There, and as you can see, it was really fast. And what that allows me to do is basically jump off that ledge as quickly as possible and start falling, right? Really fast stuff. Also, there are some weird things in this level. So you might see this block over to the right hand side, middle right, and it's kind of like an eyeball. Those actually just disappear when you go near them, but arrows can't go through them. So they'll disappear for you, so they're kind of like the opposite of what the Moonstone is, right? So you need to actually go through them yourself. So we're just going to fall down there, we're going to land on that guy's head as we shoot that guy through the Moonstone glass, shoot that guy, and then we're going to do another duck dash cancel there to get over there faster, shoot an arrow down, and as you can see, one of the arrows we used to kill that guy in chains, it's landed there, right, above the eyeball block, and we're just going to collect that, because we need it to kill the final guy on in the middle of the room, right? And we're going to straight fall through the block as after we've collected the arrow, shoot the arrow through him and land on that thing's head, and all is well. If you notice underneath the mummy, underneath the targets, there is a clue there for Ascension in Towerfall Ascension, but let me not spoil too much. But there's a bit of a clue, pretty obvious in these levels. The Moonstone level. There it is again, as you can see. So once again, duck dash cancel straight away, fire an arrow for that guy, and then we're gonna land on that guy's head. As you can see, once again the arrow landed into the wall, so I collected it after I jumped on that guy's head, and now I'm falling through this tunnel. I'm gonna fire an arrow through that Moonstone, hit that guy, and I have 2 arrows left, so I'm just gonna fire them through the Moonstone as well. I think that's a pretty easy level. Obviously it's a close one. All the easy ones have to be kind of close, I think. They have to be tight with the time. But that one was pretty easy to do. This one was a bit more confusing. So once again, I start with a duck dash. And the reason for that is twofold. One, because it gets me faster to the other side. Secondary, I really have to actually duck dash, because there's a block there actually stopping me. So there's only a small exit that you can get through. So the best thing to do is duck and dash, but I actually do the duck dash cancel jump. So I duck dash cancel jump there so I can get straight to the other side, land on that guy's head, use the momentum I've gained to bounce off that wall, jump on that guy's head. Now I have the bomb arrows that I need. I jump up, shoot one straight down to hit those guys, shoot one straight into the Moonstone to hit those 2 guys, but that the final guy up there is protected, so I jump up and fire an arrow through that Moonstone block and hit him in the back there, as you can see. Once again, that level was pretty standard, but difficult to get that execution of the duck dash cancel jump and then the wall jump and landing on the other guy. It was pretty difficult to execute that first part there. So So we're almost complete here. We're going to get to Towerfall, the fire levels. This one is extremely simple because basically you have exactly enough arrows to hit everybody. There's a bunch of ways you could do this level. I'm just going to do it the most simple way. Fire an arrow, use the level wrapping, the vertical level wrapping to fall, and angle shot, right? Very, very simple stuff. And a decent time, actually, to say it's a pretty easy level and simple level. This one is much more difficult. Much more difficult, actually. Because I kept trying to shoot those blocks that are guarding those two guys on the left, just below my character there. I kept trying to shoot that block, but actually, by shooting that block, it always would mess up. It actually would, sometimes the blocks would explode, like only one of them, or I would get killed by the explosion, or I'd get knocked back by the explosion or something, or the arrow would miss. So what I actually do here is I'm firing an arrow to open the chest. I jump. I actually fire the arrow up using the level's vertical wrapping again. Fire another super arrow there to hit that guy. He's going to land and explode those two on the right hand side. And as you can see, the one that I fired up has exploded mid-air, perfectly, basically opening the passage for me there. And then I'm going to get the chest, the next two super bomb arrows. Make sure one goes up and one goes down, because you can actually use one super arrow to kill them both. Once again, that jump that I did to collect the super arrows from the secondary chest, hold in A and shoot the arrow, and then shoot the arrow again. Don't let go of the jump button at all, because you need that extra boost of jump, and if you let go of A to shoot the arrow, you actually cancel that extra boost jump, and you're basically not gonna hit your mark. And then we land here, and that's all complete. As you can see, there is just to the right of my character is actually another explodable block, which I'm not gonna say anything else about, but it is there. Also, the background of this level is kind of an obvious clue to some secrets. Okay, this is the level. This basically is the level that that didn't force me to, but this is the level. Right. Okay. This level is the level. This is the reason that I am actually creating this commentary, because this one took me a while to figure out because the execution was pretty difficult. So, two duck dash cancel jumps, right? So I need to duck dash cancel jump to that middle platform, duck dash cancel jump to the end. And the reason I need to do that is because this level has a very, very tight time to hit. So we need to kill two guys, so we're going to duck dash cancel, shoot one arrow down. I actually jump on that guy's head there. It makes it much easier. What you can do, obviously, is duck dash cancel, shoot two arrows down, and land on that middle one perfectly. It actually saves a hell of a lot of time, but I'm trying to show the easiest way to do it possible here. So the duck dash cancel, shoot one arrow, land on that second guy's head, use the momentum of the bounce to land here. Once again, duck dash cancel, jump straight there, shoot the arrow. Shoot the arrow up at kind of an angle. No, it was actually directly up there and it curved itself, and then hold down again to fall as fast as possible and land on that final guy's head. Pretty difficult level. Let's look at how long you have to do that level. See, I mean, come on, that's a ridiculous time. I had 0.003 of a second. I had 100th of a second, right? Oh, 1,000th of a second, sorry. 3,000th of a thousandth of a second to make that level there. That was a very, very close time. I actually did go back to this level again, and you can use the duck dash cancel jump, shoot two arrows, duck dash cancel jump, shoot an arrow up and land, and shoot, and finally land on that guy's head. Actually saves a lot of time. You can do it in like 2 seconds, and you actually get the red orb for getting it in about 2 seconds. Red orbs are actually, if you beat the level really fast, like almost perfectly fast. Every level has a red orb. Very difficult to get. I think I actually only have like 2 or 3 myself. Maybe I'll make a video of how I got those, but very, very difficult to do. Take you absolute hours and hours and hours. Okay, so like I said, that level is pretty difficult to do on the execution, which is why I landed on that guy's head. Made it a little bit easier for me, but is difficult to do. Just keep practicing that duck dash cancel jump. Almost perfect. You have to dash then cancel, right? Almost perfect. Let's continue here, and we should be on the final stage, Ascension, which you have to unlock using some of the secrets of the game. So these final trials here. Okay, so this level, we have 5 seconds, so it's not so bad, right? We're going to jump there, collect the laser arrows, I'm going to use the vertical level wrapping to fall. Now I'm going to do a dash cancel. As you can see, actually give me that boost. I used that guy's head as a momentum for bounce, but there's no way you can normally just bounce that far. Actually, it was to do with the dash cancel. So I dash cancelled, hit that guy on the head, used the momentum to hit this guy, use the momentum, and then once again I used another dash cancel there to shoot fast and hit the other guy on the head. So that's 3 guys down, 2 dash cancels really fast back to back. Dash cancel, bounce, bounce, dash cancel, bounce. And now I'm just going to fall on that guy's head. As you can see, I actually didn't hold down there. That was just an execution error. That should have shaved off a few seconds. Bounce arrow there, bounce arrow there. Laser arrow, should I say. Kill those guys. Pretty simple, but that dash is, once again, pretty difficult to execute. Oh, okay. That happened. Let me go back here. Okay. Let's play. Start this next level. Here we are. So there is a chest to the left hand side using level wrapping, or to the right hand side technically, but to the left of my character. I don't actually remember what's inside that chest. Probably a bolt arrow or something. I think it's actually just to ruin your level. It's just using a bit of temptation there. It's a pretty easy level, but once again does require duck, dash, cancel, jump. So I'm going to jump here, fire an arrow, use the auto aim to hit that guy, land. As you can see there, duck, dash, cancel, didn't jump. I should have done a duck, dash, cancel, jump to get all the way across that area. I actually just did a dash cancel and then actually jumped manually, so it wasn't actually so fast. You only get 1 arrow in this level, so then I fall down here, jump up, land, and then jump, dash. Not so fast. Actually, it seems like it's really fast because the level time, I actually beat it by almost a second. Still not good. That should have been duck, dash, cancel, jump all the way across the level, and then I should have not landed and dashed onto that guy's head using a dash cancel after the jump pad. And here we get to the final stage. Pretty difficult stage, actually. It took me about an hour just to do this stage, just to figure it out and not more than figure it out, actually execute what I thought it would do. So I'm not using an arrow to open the chest on this one, very specifically. And jump, and I'm going to shoot a normal arrow before I collect the laser arrows. Very important because I want to save the laser arrows, right? So I actually fire an arrow and jump, and then I use a duck, dash, cancel, jump to get all the way across the level really fast. As you can see, I'm already beginning to aim here as I do a jump, and I fire that arrow off there. It's going to kill him. Do another jump. As you can see, I was already ready to shoot the arrow. Very important that you do hold in jump again there as well. Otherwise you're going to hit that wall and it's going to bounce back and kill you. So hold in jump, fire the arrow off, land on that one little circle block there. Then I use a jump, land on that guy's head. The arrow that I used to kill the guy above me when I first started the level, I've now picked back up. And then I shoot that guy with it. I land on this guy's head and shoot that guy with it there. Not a very good time. And actually I don't have a very good time on this level even now, because the way that I've just shown how to do it is actually the only way I can figure out how to do this level actually in beating the gem. I don't think I'll ever get the red gem on this level. It's really hard. Basically it's just really difficult. It's the only way I can figure out how to do it. And that's all of my Towerfall times there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it did help you out. Hopefully it recorded, because I don't want to record this again. It's longer than I thought it would be. And hopefully you guys don't mind my accent too much. Hopefully hopefully you don't mind. Alright, so guys, thanks for watching. We're going to quit Windows Media Player here, and I'm going to upload this video right now because it's pretty late and I have work in the morning. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, subscribe. I don't know why you would subscribe. I actually don't put videos up that often. I do apologize. I'm still looking for an apartment, still here in Mexico. I'm going to find an apartment, and then I can start recording again. I want to start recording some Archblade really bad. Maybe some Terra, the online game. I actually want to do a series where I start RuneScape again with a couple friends of mine and stream it. That sounds like it'd be really funny. Just a bunch of stuff I want to get into. I am really busy at work. I have a bunch of projects I'm working on, personal and for work. So it's difficult to squeeze this kind of stuff in, even though I really enjoy it. So hopefully once I get my apartment, I'm settled in a bit more. I can keep my setup open and record really fast, and then hopefully I can get more videos up more often. So thanks for watching. Hopefully, if this video did help you out, I would really appreciate if you commented and tell me how it helps you, how and on what levels it helped you out, and share if you have some friends who need help with Towerfall. Right? Okay, guys, I'm gonna go now.